Hello, friend, and welcome back to another episode of the Camera Brave Show. My name's Marissa, and in this episode, we're going to talk all about how you can decide what social media platforms you should be on, not just when it comes to video, but how you know what you should start to grow on. Before we dive on in, I am going to take a quick moment to ask you to please write the Camera Brave Show a review if you're listening on Apple Podcast. It really helps us continue to grow and gain momentum as we set into this new year. So if you would please just take a moment of your time, I would be very, very honored to hear your thoughts on the show and know what you are loving. The only way that I can get a gauge for what sort of content you guys are really enjoying is by what episodes are highly downloaded. So that's one of the ways that I can tell what you're liking. And the other way, the best way, is to just hear from you directly and know what exactly you're enjoying and what you want to hear more of. So if you please take a moment of your time and leave me your feedback on Apple Podcast, I would greatly appreciate it. Alrighty, let's dive on in for how you can decide what social media sites and platforms you should be on. So I don't have a ton of guidelines here. I really only have two, but I'm going to explain why they're so important and what these parameters are. The first one is, what social media do you actually like? I'm talking about for your personal use. What platforms do you enjoy? By platforms, I'm just talking about social media sites that we're on all the time, right? Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat, Pinterest, YouTube. The list goes on and on, but those are the ones that come to the top of my head. What are you on? What do you enjoy scrolling through? What are you going to in your daily life? What are you keeping in touch with friends and family for? What social media pages are you naturally sort of drawn to for your personal use? Because that is where I recommend you start for your business. When it comes to setting up business accounts, it's going to be easier for you if you already have the knowledge of how to use that social media platform. If you already know how to create posts or even do more detailed things like stories or reels and that sort of thing, it's really going to help you as you start to launch and maneuver this new social media site. So the first tip that I have, or the first guideline for you, is decide what social media platforms you like, and then what social media platforms are you less than enthused about? This is important because knowing what social media you like and what social media you barely tolerate is absolutely going to affect the way that you show up. It's going to affect the way that you create content. Think about these big Instagram influencers, right? I'm talking like hundreds of thousands of followers, maybe even like 500,000 followers. These are people that started on Instagram because they had to. No, these people started on Instagram because they liked it. They had a passion for it. They enjoyed sharing bits and pieces of their lives and the details of their day-to-day. And then they used that passion to curate an audience and eventually monetize it. But it starts with a passion. When you have a passion to be on that social media page, it's a lot easier to see growth there. If you go onto a social media page reluctant, it's gonna be harder to find success there. I am speaking from experience because I just finally got myself onto TikTok. I'm going to jump into that story here in a little bit, but that is what has prompted this episode, is my adventure into TikTok. It's something that I have been reluctant to try for almost a year now. I've been just, no, not my thing. I don't want to do it. However, I'm a coach. And in order to support my clients as a video marketing coach, I need to be able to at least be familiar enough with the app to show them how to use it and then to be able to answer any questions that they have. That's part of what I do inside the Camera Brave Club. Is it's a place where other entrepreneurs come to learn how to use and grow through video on social media platforms. So as it being necessary, I did have to get onto TikTok recently, and that prompted this whole chain of events that really has me thinking about the different social media platforms and how you can help decide what you can be on and how you can expand that mindset of what you like and what you're reluctant towards. That's going to be a little bit further down the road. When you are first starting, what do you like? Start there. You like Instagram? Start with Instagram. You like Facebook? Start with Facebook. As long as it makes sense for your business, start with what you already know and enjoy using. Then you have that list, right? The I don't want to deal with it list. And for me, TikTok was so on that list. TikTok was the number one thing. I was like, I don't want to. Here's the thing. Well, yes, I am now on TikTok. And if I sound like a giant contradiction, Marissa, you're telling us to not go on the sites we want to avoid, yet you were saying that you just got on the site that you'd been avoiding and reluctant to go on towards. Listen, my reasoning for wanting you to know what you're reluctant towards is because those are not platforms that you're going to easily find success in. If you are reluctant, if you don't want to be on TikTok and you show up to each post carrying that with you, not wanting to be on that platform, it's going to be so much harder for you to grow. If you don't bring that passion and that energy and that creativity with you, it's really going to be tough for you to grow your audience, especially on a new platform. People aren't going to want to continue to come to your page if you are bringing this energy with you. Look, on camera, it's all about your energy. If people don't like vibe or connect with the energy that you bring, they're not going to stay on your channel. It's just that simple. If you're bringing that negative energy of, I feel too old to be here, I'm not doing a dance challenge, I don't even know how to work this. If you're bringing that with you into your content, it's going to show. Your audience is going to notice, and it's going to be a lot harder and slower to grow on that platform. So that is why I say, start with what you like and know what you are reluctant towards and put that on the back burner. Now, why I am finally getting to an app that I have been reluctant towards. It's because, first of all, I need to have the know-how. That way my clients can have the know-how. It's literally a part of what I offer and what I help coach people to do. All things video, all things social media, all things for new beginners and non-techie people. So I knew when I started Camera Brave and when I really got down to what my mission was going to be, that I would need to bite the bullet and get onto TikTok. Plain and simple. I'm going to have to put on the big girl pants and get onto TikTok. To be completely honest with you, the only reason that I'm doing it right now, because I would have continued to put it off. However, having the Camera Brave Club, I want to cover all of the main video platforms. That way, all of my current clients and my future clients have an amazing vault of videos to come to from their first day in the club. So I've covered the big ones: Facebook Lives, Instagram stories, Instagram Reels, YouTube videos, or any kind of pre-recorded content. And then we went back into Instagram Reels because my audience in that group really wanted to learn more. They wanted a more advanced and detailed training. So I got on that. And now the next big video platform that I need to be able to teach and that I want people to feel like encouraged to learn about is TikTok, because it has 50 million active daily users. So yeah, I need to figure it out. Why have I been so reluctant towards it? I feel like it is very much known for the dancing trends. And I do feel like it's a younger age demographic, but if you look at the demographics, it's all across the board. There's so much more than just dancing challenges on there. There's marketing, there's DIY. You can really get into multi-levels of TikTok, and it's so expansive. And as far as video goes, TikTok was created for video. So the video creation process is different than Instagram, which was created for photo and then adapted to video. TikTok was created for video. So it had things in mind when I went to create a video on the app that was way more intuitive than Instagram Reels, because I thought that they were going to be essentially the same, because Instagram Reels were molded after TikTok, right? So I thought that the platforms would be virtually the same, but I was pleasantly surprised when I got to TikTok and created my first video. So let me finish up explaining why I'm getting to TikTok right now and how I did technically abide by my own rules. And then I'll jump into my second guideline for you guys. So while I was reluctant at first, and I knew I was reluctant. I did know that I would have to get there eventually. So like mentally preparing myself, knowing, hey, I don't have to get 1 million followers on TikTok, but I do have to know the ins and outs of it. I do have to know the best practices, the ways to take video, and the ways that I can coach women in my group to take video on TikTok. So I knew that that was going to be something that I needed to do, not necessarily that I needed to grow, because it would be really hard for me to grow on this platform that I really don't want to be on. I knew that. Second piece of this puzzle is that I put it off for a while, intentionally knowing that it was something that I was reluctant towards. I allowed myself to build on other platforms and then get to the one that I was reluctant to go towards. So I first started with Facebook and Instagram. Those were my first two Camera Brave social media pages. The next one I jumped on was not TikTok. The next thing I jumped on was, I think, Google My Business. The next thing I jumped on was this podcast. The next thing I jumped on was creating the podcast onto a YouTube channel. Then I jumped on TikTok because there was this pressure of, I need to know how to utilize this to be the best video marketing coach that I can be. Because if my clients have a question, I want to be able to answer it. Like, I am very proud to be able to answer any questions that anyone is having. That's part of the reason for my club. That's why it's a paid group, because people can go there with their very specific, how do I do this question? And I'm going to figure it out and tell you exactly how to do it, because we're not techie people, and that's okay. We can still figure out how to grow on social and how to still create these amazing videos. So TikTok was the 6th platform that I got on, because I was reluctant to be on it, because I knew, oh, hey, TikTok would have been a good one to start from day one. I've had more people tell me that I should be on TikTok than I can count, but I listened to my gut of what I wanted to be on, and I knew that I would get there in time. I knew that I would get there because I needed to get there. That way I could learn it for my clients, but I really put it off until I felt like I couldn't put it off any longer. Now, here is the second guideline that I have. The first one, determining what you like, what you don't like. The second one, be willing to try most of them. If you loathe one of them, okay, that's why I said be willing to try most of them. Hear me out. When I went to TikTok, I was reluctant. I was not familiar at all, but I went into the creative video and I just started plugging and playing and decided to create a video of my equipment, because that seems to be one that people like to see. They like to see like tours of your space. They want to see what like equipment you're using and all that sort of thing. So I decided to create a video on that. Real quick, if you are on TikTok, please go give Camera Brave a follow. I would appreciate it. It is still a brand new page, so it is very slow on the growth. I also haven't spent a bunch of time on there following or anything like that, because my purpose on there is to learn how to do the video, not necessarily to grow a large following. So I just dove straight on into the video. So if you are on TikTok, please go give Camera Brave a follow. So when I went to create this video, I didn't really know what to expect, but I decided the best way to learn was just to jump on in. So I started taking video of my equipment, and I was so pleasantly surprised with the capabilities of editing inside of TikTok. I thought it would be similar to Instagram Reels, but TikTok has some more advanced features that I was like, oh, I like this. For instance, when you do Instagram Reels, like clips, if you create 3 clips, you cannot go back and edit that second clip. Like, you can't re-record that second clip. You can delete it, but you can't like go to the second clip and re-record it. You would have to delete your third clip, delete your second clip, and then record your second and third clip again. I hope that makes sense. TikTok gave me the ability to jump right on into that second clip and re-record it for just that amount of time without even touching my first and my third clip. That may not make a lot of sense, but when you're actually taking video, it makes a huge difference. Say you got your second shot that you didn't really like that much, but you didn't know that you didn't like it until later, you can still go back and edit it, versus Instagram Reels where you can't. So that made a huge difference. It changed my attitude towards the app almost immediately, because the reason I didn't like the app wasn't because I knew the editing capabilities. I didn't like the app because of all these like preconceived ideas of dancers and trends and having to dump a lot of time into it and learning something that's meant for a younger generation. But once I saw it for what it actually was, a video editing social media tool where you can easily take videos, and it was an app designed for video. Once I kind of got into that, my attitude changed. I was like, hey, this is kind of cool. And then I started to get excited about that video. And then I started to add a couple little layers to it. At first I was like, I'm just going to take a video and post it. But then by the time I got to the end of the video, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to add some text to it. I added text to it. I did have a tough time finding music, so I just picked like a quick little trending song. So I will work on that next time, trying to find maybe like a more suitable audio for what I'm showing. But you know what? For my first video, I was happy with it. And with 0 followers, I got 200 plays on that TikTok video, and I think 2 likes. It's a little vulnerable to share the numbers with you guys, but I do want you to know that every time you start on a social media site, you're starting from ground one. Like, no one starts with a following unless you're famous, unless you're like very well known. But being willing to start from scratch and being humble enough to be like, come follow me over here, come hang out over here, and sharing, your journey, being new and being vulnerable enough to share these numbers. I think that's something that people can connect with and relate to. So I'm pretty big on sharing the numbers. If you are hung up on the numbers, go listen to episode 28. Go listen to episode 28, where I talk all about not getting stuck on the number of views, not getting stuck on your followers, but instead focusing on your passion. And this entire episode is not necessarily talking about where you should be creating video right now. If you're in a place where you're not even creating video yet, I still want you to approach it with this mindset, because we want you to grow. Whatever platform you're on, I want you to grow on that platform. I want you to have a large audience to share your video with. So even if video is not even something that you're ready to start with, use these 2 guidelines to get on that social media site that you enjoy being on, because then you can grow, and then you can grow into taking video. So even if you're not taking video yet, still get on these apps like Instagram and Facebook. You don't have to take video on right now. You can supplement with photos. TikTok, you kind of, need to do video. YouTube, you kind of need to do video. So keep that in mind. But the other apps, if you just want to get on to just start building an audience and start building your brand, you don't have to wait until you have it all figured out. You don't have to wait to start the page until you have a list of 10 video ideas. I started on TikTok not even knowing how to edit the video. I just started recording things that I knew people wanted to see. And I made it to the end of the video, and I was so pleasantly surprised. And I am excited to get back on the app and make something else, because now I know a little bit more about it. And now I want to learn a little bit more about it. And now it's really not even as bad as I thought. So no crazy algorithm. You don't have to stare down the demographics. Really, truly follow your passion. What do you want to be on, and what do you want to grow on? Because you're going to show up differently there versus somewhere that you're just tolerating, or the demographics say that everyone's on LinkedIn. So I guess I'm on LinkedIn, even though I'm kind of bored. I don't really know what to post. I don't really know how to grow. Start with what you're passionate about, and then be open-minded to trying other things. I was hesitant and reluctant to get to TikTok, but now that I've tried it, I'm interested. I want to learn more. I feel the creativity flowing. So just because you feel some type of way about an app now, don't let that stop you from ever trying it. Do not let that stop you from trying it, because being open-minded enough to just give it a try, see how you feel about it. That could be the difference between your growth and staying where you are. I gave this podcast a try. Like, I started the whole show just to give it a try and see how I felt. I didn't know if I would like doing a podcast. I didn't know that I would actually kind of like editing a video on TikTok, but the only way to know is to try something else. So start with what you're passionate about, but then be willing to try something. Be willing to challenge yourself, because we are all wired differently. We are all going to connect differently with different audiences on different social media pages. That's why there's not just one social media page. That's why all social media platforms are wired differently. YouTube, long format video based. TikTok, short format video based. Facebook is more like community and talking and posts, and also now video based. Instagram is all like photography and sharing, and now video based. Do you see the common thread between all four of those? They're all going towards video. So maybe, friends, maybe it's time to start taking some video. If you are interested in wanting to know where to start, how on earth to take an Instagram reel, how on earth to post on TikTok, by the time this comes out, my Camera Brave Club will not be open, but you can go get on the wait list, because it is going to briefly open up. And at the time it opens up, the TikTok training will be there. So if you want to know how on earth to work TikTok from someone who literally just started from square one, who just learned to navigate the app themselves and still made content that, okay, the fact that I had no followers and still got 200 views, I am happy with that. I think that that is a good number. Would I love for my next video to go viral? Of course. But you know the thing about viral video, friends, you can't go viral if you're too afraid to make a video. The only way your video can go viral is once you put it out into the world, then it goes viral. You can't know it beforehand if it's going to go viral, and you can't plan it to go viral. All you can do is create the content, and fingers crossed that it goes viral, brings you a ton of followers and some amazing clients and connections from that. So if you are interested in learning how to do this, go over to camerabraveclub.com. Currently, my trainings aren't available for like individual sale. You become a part of the club, you get access to all of the trainings that I have, which is going on 6 different intensive trainings where I step-by-step show you how to post your Instagram stories, how to go live on Facebook. And then I give you the details that really make those things more enriching, that you can find the passion within them. Step-by-step, non-techie. I'm not a paid content creator. I'm not an Instagram influencer. I'm an entrepreneur that builds my business. And that is why I think I'm able to connect so well with my clients, because I'm teaching them how busy entrepreneurs can make content, get it out into the world, and repurpose that content for growth. So that way you're continuing to grow without having to spend hours creating video content. I don't have an editor that I send my stuff to. This is all me. I'm the one who creates all of these videos, and I'm in a very similar position to you guys. So that's what allows me to be able to get you the meat and potatoes of what you need. We also do coaching. So any questions you're having, I'll walk you through them. Any techie questions you have. I just had someone, they posted a question about Instagram Reels. How do I time my text? And that is in my tutorial, but I still went in and answered it, because I'm not going to be like, go watch the video. It's all in the video. Go watch it. No, of course not. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to answer your questions for you, because I'm here for you. Another really fun thing that people have really been enjoying inside the group is once a month, I jump on a call or a live and I do video feedback, where you can submit all of your videos and I will play a minute of it. And then I'll tell you what I love about it, some tips that you could do next time. Not necessarily anything harsh, but some tips. Hey, next time, try moving towards a window. Hey, next time, maybe take off your glasses. That way we can connect a little deeper with you when you look at the camera. Hey, watch your headroom, those sort of things. And then I'll tell you what I loved about the video also. So it's not just things that you can improve upon, but things that you're already doing well. Because I promise you are doing something well. You are, just by taking video, you are taking that step to grow. And if you haven't taken a video ever, this club is going to be the community and the support to help hold your hand as you take that first video. and to help you do it afraid. To help you do it before you feel like you've got all of it figured out, before you've got all the perfect equipment, before you've got the massive following, but just as you are, because video is a tool that can help you grow. That's what I help people do. And if you are interested in this, please go over to camerabraveclub.com and I will send you an email when doors open, because right now doors are closed because we needed to kind of just cut it off for a minute, regroup. And then when doors open back up, you're going to have the TikTok training, Instagram Reels, Instagram Stories, Facebook Live, and YouTube all there. And along with, equipment best practices and starter content best practices and tons of information in there, as well as access to bi-weekly coaching calls where if you got a question, I'll answer it. And if you got a video that you want me to see, I would be honored to give you some feedback. So far, that's been everyone's favorite part, has been the video feedback. So that's my spiel. I do want you to stay open-minded. I want you to, first of all, start on the platforms that you like. Second of all, be willing to try. Just be willing to try. You don't have to sink a whole week into it. You don't have to commit an hour a day to it. Just giving things a try and seeing if you like them. Because I was pleasantly surprised when I went to edit onto TikTok. Sometimes we start to see things as something different than what they are. So I was having all of these preconceived ideas about this app before I'd even tried it. And I was judging it based off of demographics or types of content that I thought were on there, when in reality, I should have been judging it for how user-friendly it was, what my analytics might look like, and how I could grow on there. But the only way to know those things was to actually try and take a video. That's the key here for a lot of this, is actually having to take the video. My friends, thank you for listening in. Would you do me a favor? And if you know someone that this episode could really help resonate with, maybe you know someone who is TikTok phobic like me, or a small business that's doing really well on one social media platform, would you please share this episode with them? I would be honored if you want to take a screenshot of it and tag me in it at Camera Brave over on Instagram. Share it to your stories. I would love to see if you're enjoying it and what you're taking from the episode. As always, you can find me over at Instagram and Facebook at Camera Brave. I hope you have an amazing rest of your week, friends, and I will see you next time on the Camera Brave Show.